I'd like to introduce Marguerite Nyhan, a graduate of civil engineering in 2010. Marguerite, you might tell me what you did after you left us in 2010.
Okay, so for my undergraduate degree, I studied civil and environmental engineering, and when I was in the last 2 years, I focused on environmental engineering, the environmental stream that was available, and this was because I was really interested in the environment, in climate change and in quality of life, and I wanted to work in those areas after graduating. So after my degree, I did a PhD in environmental engineering at Trinity College Dublin. I focused on air quality, transportation and health, and the study I had already completed in UCC set me up extremely well for my PhD work. And during my PhD, I was invited to conduct research at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, in Boston. And my research there was focused on understanding the science of smart and environmentally friendly cities for the future. After I finished my PhD, I stayed at MIT as a postdoc researcher. After a few years, I then moved to Harvard University, still in Boston. And there my research was focused on environmental health, especially in looking at the impacts of the urban environment on cardiovascular and lung health. After another couple of years, I moved from Boston to New York, and I was recruited to work at the United Nations. I was based at the UN headquarters in Manhattan. And the team that I joined at the UN, we had an extremely interesting mandate, and that was to harness emerging technologies and apply them in sustainable development and humanitarian efforts. So I worked on some extremely interesting projects, and that was before I came back to Cork to join UCC again.
And would you say your degree in civil engineering helped you in these ventures that you undertook?
Definitely, yes, it absolutely did. Engineering gave me an extremely strong technical background, and UCC more generally then gave me an extremely well-rounded education. The civil and environmental engineering degree, it's a prestigious qualification to have, and it served me extremely well since I graduated. And all of the knowledge that I gained from various modules that I studied, including a work placement at the Environmental Protection Agency in 3rd year and a research project in 4th year, really gave me a great combination of rigorous academic training and practical experience. And these were two things that were essential for me to thrive in my career since I graduated.
What's your main focus as a lecturer now, Marguerite?
So I lecture in environmental engineering and in water engineering. I also co-lecture a course in data analytics for engineers, and I lead the sustainability and enterprise higher diploma. I also have a research team, and we focus on developing intelligent solutions for climate neutral, sustainable and healthy future cities. And we also have a focus on policy. And we have some really exciting projects, and I'm always looking for interested students to join my group.
And what advice would you give to our incoming cohort of students who are just starting their engineering studies?
Yes, that's a great question, Jerry. So I would say pursue what you're interested in with enthusiasm. Don't be afraid to be ambitious in your academic goals. Talk to your lecturers, ask them questions, and get involved with all the brilliant research centres that are located at UCC. For example, the MaREI Centre for Climate, Energy and the Marine, which Jerry, you direct, and the Environmental Research Institute, and there's Tyndall, the Tyndall Institute, there's many more as well. One other thing that I would advise engineering students to think about is the following. It's that engineers are an extremely important part of society as we know it, and are crucial in tackling some of the biggest challenges that we as a society have today. So engineers are responsible for our water, for our healthy environment, for helping to tackle climate change, for our transport systems, our energy systems, for designing iconic buildings and bridges all over the world. Engineers are also responsible for telecommunications, the internet, and engineers are even responsible for space travel. So engineering doesn't really have any boundaries, and our contributions to society are really endless. I've also learned over the years that engineers and technical experts, they're extremely important in helping governments and international organisations in making decisions on what to do, in policy, in terms of policy, but also when crises occur. And I really saw that firsthand in working at the United Nations. And we can see that with the current COVID-19 global health emergency also. When governments are making their decisions, they need to be scientifically informed, and engineers play a large part in that work. they're working on gathering the information and data on the smartphone applications and in monitoring and predicting the spread of the virus. And engineers are also playing a really crucial role in the work that has emerged, and that is in understanding how we can build back a more environmentally sustainable society when we move forward from the COVID-19 pandemic. So my main advice would be to continually remind yourself of the importance of engineers in our society.
That's fantastic, Marguerite. Thank you very much. You've had a fabulous career, and thank you for sharing your career with us. Thank you, Marguerite.
Welcome. Thank you.